Shalom, bruchim habaim. Welcome to this video. My name is Ruth Avni. Some call me the Verb Queen. I am happy you made it to this video because today I want to talk to you about roots that produce a couple of verbs, but when you look closer, these verbs have zero connection. And this is the moment where you normally go like, what am I missing? What am I missing? Spoiler alert, nothing. And now, in the next couple of minutes, I will show you why. Okay, let's start. So, for those of you who know me, you know I am super passionate about Hebrew verbs. For those of you who do not know me, let me repeat for a moment why that is. Well, fact is that I started out exactly where you are right now, and I know all the frustrations that come with learning Hebrew verbs. Yes, I have been to Ulpan, I have been through all the frustrations, and I really took the bull by the horns and I said, I'm going to make it. I speak 5 European languages and Hebrew is not going to be different. Well, it was pretty different, but I made it. And from that moment on, I said, wow, if somebody had told me all of that at the beginning, I could have learned it much faster. So normally, when you start out with Hebrew verbs, it's this whole story about a root, and then from there you make different verbs that are in different verb groups called binyanim. Right. So let me give you an example. Something that I love to show. That is this root here. Chav, tav, bet, because it really shows the essence of conjugating Hebrew verbs. And after that, I show you what happens when this is not the case. Okay, so here we have lichtov, to write, and we can also make out of this root to dictate, lehachtiv. And if we go further, we come to correspond, lehitkatev. So, and if you see, here we always have that root present. We somehow danced around something in the front, something in the middle, yeah? And that turned the root into different verbs. Fine. So, what do they all have in common? Not only the root, of course, but also everything here is related to writing. The difference is that to write is what you do you yourself, and to dictate is where you need another person. So it is about relationships. And to correspond is with somebody where you both do the same thing. So there is no hierarchy as there is in dictation. Great. So this here is, in a nutshell, what verb conjugations are about. Now let me show you a root, this one here. First of all, when you see a root that starts with nun, expect trouble in paradise. It's not you, it's the root, okay? So, example, we have here להתנגד. That is a great verb because hit-pl is very easy. In the regular hit-pl verbs, you take hit and you have the root and end of story. You only need the vowels. I, a, e. להתנגד. Neged means against. So להתנגד, to oppose. Perfect. And now we come to להגיד, to say. No, this is not a mistake. It's not a mistake because both of these verbs have the same root, believe it or not. In the first one, it's very visible. In the second one, it's not so visible. And on top of it, zero connection. Zero connection. No, you do not have to think around and make it complicated. Saying something is not necessarily saying something against Forget it. These are two different verbs sharing the same root. Yes, this exists. Why is that happening? That is the worst question ever in Hebrew. It's not about why. You have to be open to terrible exceptions and just move on. Okay, so when you stumble upon one, just recognize it and move on. But why? So what's happening here is basically that the historical connection got lost. That means that I don't want to say that there was a connection at one point, but language evolves. And sometimes things come from one corner and develop into another one. And sometimes there is zero explanation, which I would say is this case here. So when you come to something like this, just move on. Move on. להגיד is anyway a very special verb, and I highly recommend to you that you watch the video I made last week about להגיד, because להגיד, you don't even have to learn all the tenses because we don't use all the tenses. What? Yes. Okay. That was it. If you want to know more about Hebrew verbs, here is my website. I have a lot of resources for beginners, for advanced, and I would be happy to see you there. Okay? Neshikot. Shalom.